I heard you loud and clear. You said this year is a year of traveling. And when you say travel, you mean you need to be out of the country. The airport is calling our name. But you don't know how to book flights. You don't know how to do hotel reservation. You don't know how to find Airbnbs. Step to the front, let me put y'all onto game. By the end of this video, you'll be able to plan your best vacay yet. So you know what to do? Keep on watching. First things first, Spooky Bone, we need to travel within our budget. And that's not an insult. It's how you're going to have the best vacation, come back home and not be sad, broke, or depressed. So let's categorize it. You're gonna do 1,000, 2,000, and 3,000 US. If you're a first time traveler, the $1,000 budget would be highly recommended. The first destination is gonna be DR. DR flights on average would run you $350 to $450, and that's round trip key. That means that we have 600 USD left. Yes, you heard that right. For Colombia now, I put her in the 2,000 bracket just because the flight price is a tad bit higher. The flight would run you around $450 to $600, so you know that we have an average $1,400 left. For the 3,000, I'd recommend Brazil, Peru, one of those countries. I've never been there before, but those are the ones that I think you have to save to actually go. Now that we got our budget out of the way, we're going to look on flights. Flights are the first thing you're supposed to look on. Okay, you can't reach out people them country if you don't go on a plane. Say, I forgot. Fly, you have to take off. I would only recommend Aerojet if you're gonna fly straight to DR. You should not be using Aerojet if you're gonna do a connected flight. So if you go Colombia, pay for the Copa Airlines. Aerojet, if they have no ATARs, I promise you, I'm dead. Aerojet is a budget-friendly airline, so certain things are not upkept. So like the time where them say you're supposed to depart, it's not gonna always be that time, and I think they're hour ahead. So when you're booking, say 1 o'clock or really 12 o'clock. Aerojet is a little bit complicated to me. It's not really 200. I remember the issue we have with them when we went to DR. If you're going to go to Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Brazil, Copa Airlines. I love me a Copa Airlines. Copa, the customer service is good. I don't know, something about Copa Airlines, it gives luxurious because it's not a budget-friendly line, you know. However, it still takes care of it. It's a Panama airline. It still gives you some sort of luxury for the price that you're paying. Those are the two airlines that I would recommend if you're going that route. Let's say you're not traveling from any of those countries as I mentioned. What you're going to go ahead and do is type in flights from Kingston/Mobile. It depends on where you fly from to the destination that you're going. You're going to see some third-party sites come up. Sometimes them have really good deals. However, if you're not used to the traveling, leave it alone. You can click on it and you can say, okay, I can get a cheap flight. I use American Airlines, Copa Airlines, Aerojet. What you're gonna do when you see that, you're gonna go on the actual site. You're gonna type in Copa, you're gonna type in Aerojet and look for that exact flight. Sometimes the cheap price of them show no is because check bag not included, carry-on not included. It's probably the most basic seating on the flight. So I'd recommend you can do a little scan for see which part of them I said the cheap flight there. Then you go on the actual site and find the flight. Once you find the price of your flight, you can write down an estimate. You know, sometimes it go up, it go down. But let's say you look for a flight in January for a trip in November and you see it at $800. You budget $800 to $900 because you know the price fluctuates. So when it's time to actually book, you're good to go. We're gonna step back in our budget now. We covered flights, now we have to do accommodation because we can't fly out and not have no for lay head. That does get irresponsible. You have to check if the country is a hotel country or Airbnb country, and hear me out. Some countries it's best you book an Airbnb versus a hotel. You see the experience when you get a yard in the hotel, it's not always gonna be the same in a next country. Some of them, the only reason why they give a hotel vibe is because they give you breakfast alone. You can do an Airbnb if it give me breakfast alone. Because 9 out of 10, I'm there to explore. I want to go try the people them traditional dish. I want to drive go McDonald's. I want to go try something. I don't want to eat hotel food alone. So DR is definitely a hybrid. It gives hotel and Airbnb vibe. Colombia. But Cartagena and Medellin, they do not give hotel vibes. They do not at all. I promise that the Airbnb that you book would give you more of an hotel vibe. And yes, I Kim, I don't know how to navigate on the Airbnb app. Step to the front. Remember our class today? You're gonna go on Airbnb, either use the web browser or download the app. You see where it say like where to, you're gonna put in where you're going. So we're going to go to Punta Cana DR. Once we go up on Punta Cana DR, we're going to scroll and see one that fits your budget. If you have a pool preference, if you have somewhere where you want close to the town, close to attractions, you can literally go on the map and look on it. So on the map, it gives you an estimate. It's not precise of where the complex is. You are going to go ahead, go in Google and put from, and you're going to put the airport to and the quote-unquote address that they gave you for the Airbnb, and you see the distance. Once you see that, you can say, alright then cool, if I want 30-minute drive, 30-minute drives to me is cool. I always where I start get booming. But a 30-minute drive means okay, that not bad. I kinda they a good look a central spot. Then you're gonna go ahead and see how close or how far you are from the malls or the places that you want to travel. This is how I book my Airbnb them. I'm not gonna say, oh, this look cute. Cause sometimes the cute, the way up yonder, like if they are hour, 2 hour drive to find the destination the way you try go. And to me, that not make no sense. End up I go spend my money in a bus here we could actually use pan the excursion. We don't need accommodation and flight. Them they pay before we even reach the country. So we leave back now with how much is our have now, child? About $200 are spending money now. Yeah. So that's supposed to cover the Uber, the excursion, if we are planning for the excursion or if we want to look at shopping. You're gonna go on TikTok and type in average cost for Uber in such country. Is Uber safe in such country? Uber makes sense in a such country. And I promise you get an estimate of how much it actually charges for Uber so you can budget. The place that I went that the Uber was the most, I would definitely say is gonna be DR. DR is where Uber was a little bit pricey because when I did the conversion, but you see the distance away I go, it worked out. Like if we rent a vehicle, I feel like we pay more in the vehicle rental versus Uber. Because at that trip, I think I spent max $100 for pick up from airport, drive up and down, drive to go hotel, we were outside in Punta Cana. Like the moment we come in, we wash off and then we go back out again. So 100 US, which is around 16,000, isn't bad for 7 days worth of traveling, right? Colombia now. Colombia get away with murder. Some distances that you go for 200 JMD. We traveled, I think, 30 minutes to a restaurant for 800 Jamaican dollars. So do your research on the Uber, see if rental makes sense. Personally, if I travel to Peru, I would do a rental, and you're gonna hear why. The reason I do a rental, the excursions are so far apart. They're like 3 hours, 4 hours apart. So when you look how much you go pay a Uber, it's best you rent a vehicle. Based on your research, you will determine, do I do a Uber, do I do a rental? I'm an Uber girl through and through, because vacation me come from. Me come for enjoy myself. But I think I'm supposed to drink and I say, oh, Jaja, we don't know the road, so we can't drink too much. No. Get you a Uber. If it's safe in that country, I must say. If it's safe in that country, get you an Uber. When it comes to food, I think food is so affordable whichever country you go. Food always cheap. Plus, if you're not an eat out person, if you're going to do the fancy, you can go look at McDonald's, you look at KFC, you're gonna be fine. Well, as I tell you now, TikTok. Go on TikTok, type in KFC menu at such place, McDonald's menu at such place, fancy affordable restaurants at such place, like in Punta Cana. We literally just type in TikTok affordable bougie restaurants, and we were able to get like steak and those type of things for $20. You get sushi for 1,800, 10 roll at Colombia. It's like you have to just do your research on TikTok. The more and more you research on TikTok, you will not be dependent on a travel agency, I promise. And remember, a travel agency is like a one size fit all. You know your personality. You know what you want to do. For me never go Colombia, go paraglide. I'm afraid of heights. I'm better say a travel agency would I recommend a paragliding experience. Me no want to do the paragliding, I'm afraid of heights. With that being said, let's go ahead and cover activities. Based on the country where you go, you type in a TikTok, you say activities doing such countries, activity for rate. Yeah, I go see on TikTok. For Colombia, I know them I'm gonna recommend paragliding. For DR, ATV, you go ahead and research where you can get an affordable one. I'm a good stars this girl through and through. I promise on the video do sponsor. It's not sponsored by them. However, I actually use the service. So with Good Stars now, they go ahead and partner with the companies, and the company give them at a discounted price. So for example, when I went on the Bavaro side, it would run me around $235 for all the excursions that I did. However, on Gustazos, it was $60. And Gustazos isn't the only site or do that. Get Your Guide, Travel Advisor. Those sites go ahead and basically get some affordable activities for you to do. Just do your research on TikTok, type in activities to do in X place, and you will see what it comes up to. You can even go and Google the cost for those places so you can have an even better understanding of your budget work for you. Class almost done now, but I yawn and get tired. We're going to do a recap. First, we need to know how much we are budget for the vacay. Because we don't want to come back a yard, broke and pauperize. We want to come back home and people see them say, no man, you go on vacation, you're glowing, you're crying, you're bawling. The next thing is flight and accommodation. If them two then about that means the trip not keep. And then me say so. Trip does not keep. Because or you don't know how you gonna reach, or you don't know where you gonna sleep. Them two, they have to secure before we start the excursion. As I'm telling you, the accommodation we're gonna find out if it's hotel or Airbnb or hybrid. Once we discover that, we'll plan accordingly. The money we're gonna spend over there on the trip, food, transportation, we're gonna find out is Uber safe there. It makes sense to do a rental. Them little question then if you like write down in your little book, write down in your notes app, and then you navigate as you plan. Of course, we're gonna spend money over there because we move from point A to point B in the country. We're gonna need money. So we're gonna calculate the average cost, find out how much Uber normally costs, how far we're there from the place that we want to go. And of course, excursions, we're doing on a budget. We're doing discounted, so we're gonna find the site then we do on a great deal. Cakesters, Get Your Guide, Travel Advisor, among others. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I know the gents and the ladies are booking a lot of trips in 2026. Let me know down in the comments which country you want to visit for 2026. For me, it's definitely gonna be El Salvador. I've seen the hype. I want to experience the hype, and it's giving affordable. I'm gonna go ahead and plan a whole trip to El Salvador, given our cost breakdown and everything when I do that vacation. And I promise you, that trip is gonna be under 1,500. So it'll be underneath 1,500 with a little bit of change left. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I can't wait for someone in the sky. I posted the passport because the airport is calling our name. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
You know the airport is calling our name. You know the airport is calling our name. I'll take you farther than